Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And we have a bit of breaking news, sort of hot off the press. Michael Matheson has cancelled a visit to a Glasgow GP surgery as speculation mounts about his future. This is just sort of broken in the last sort of 10 minutes ago. And it looks like he had plans for the day. He's going to off and doing this, that and the other through the day. They've all been cancelled. He's changing everything about the day. We are wondering now if maybe he is going to resign. Is he going to say, look, I've had enough of this. I can't go on. I'm fed up with all the speculation about my masturbatory habits and I need to go away. It's certainly starting to look that way. Although he may just have the barefaced cheek to go to Parliament, give some bland explanation as to his fraudulent claiming of expenses, and then try and breeze out the storm. Batten down the hatches, let it wash over and move on. But it won't. This is not going away, regardless of what he thinks is going to happen. But either way, things, as Sherlock Holmes would say, the game is afoot. Things are about to happen. So it's a hard and fast-moving story. I did one this morning about it. Now we've got this one. And of course, if anything else happens, we'll be on the ball with that as well. But we'll have a quick look at this, see what's going on. Here goes. So Michael Matheson cancels visit to Glasgow GP surgery as speculation mounts about his future. I'm presuming he was going, because a bit of carpal tunnel syndrome from all that excessive work. The Health Secretary was due to meet doctors in the East End of Glasgow on Thursday, but instead will be at Holyrood, facing a large battle to save his flagging and soon-to-be-finished political career. As questions grow about his £11,000 iPad holiday charges, this isn't a story that's going away, no matter how much they say they must move on and leave it. Nobody is moving on and leaving it. Humza Yousaf, if he was a leader, would fire him. But, he can't, can he? Kendall won't do that. The SNP Health Secretary has cancelled a visit to the GP surgery in Glasgow ahead of a statement to MSPs over his iPad expenses. The Conservatives are expected to table a motion of no confidence in Michael Matheson at Holyrood. That could be today. There are people in his own party that will not back him. There's people who are very, very sceptical and dubious. And you can put a 3-line whip on it, but there will be some there that won't obey it. Anyway, speculation is mounting that a senior minister, one of Humza Yousaf's key allies in the cabinet, may be forced to resign over the scandal of the £11,000 data roaming charges he racked up during his 7-day holiday to Morocco last year and claimed and has had and therefore has lied and has been a thief. He's fraudulently claimed these. In a sensational twist, the Scottish Parliament released his bill from EE on Wednesday night, showing the bulk of the data was used on just 2 days, January the 2nd and December the 28th. Why not put them in chronological order? Very weird. Anyway, there was an Old Firm match screened live on Sky Sports on the former date, January the 2nd, which we covered in the last video, which was also a public holiday in Scotland, while Hibs v Celtic was shown on the latter, on the earlier day, even though it's the later one mentioned. Weird, isn't it, the way they did that? And of course, he apparently is going to be claiming that this was the reason for the bill. And the fact is, and he's put his claim in, 2 things, and I did mention this. 1, he's obviously lied on his application. Secondly, he's lied because he said that the authorities signed off because they inspected his phone. His words. They said, no, they just looked at the data usage. They didn't see what the data was. So he's lied. And now we've got the proof that he's lying. And he's lying about his lies now. How bad does it get? Anyway, opponents are now demanding Mr. Matheson release his browsing history to prove that he wasn't using the device to watch football. He's understood to have provided written assurances to Holyrood authorities, but that's nothing. Sorry, Your Honour, I didn't kill him. Here's my written assurance of that. That doesn't work like that, does it? Anyway, Holyrood is saying that all the data used was in the course of constituency business, although he offered to repay the bill in full. Well, if it was all constituency business, why are you offering to repay it? Surely it's a legitimate fee. Even if it was accidental and wrong, it was still legitimate. But no, because you don't want anyone to look at your phone. And that, of course, is where the big suspicion is coming. Anyway, he was due to meet the doctors at Whitevale Surgery in Denniston on Thursday morning to discuss controversial cuts to link worker funding in the East End of Glasgow. The Herald reports that Mr Matheson's visit was cancelled late on Wednesday evening. Scottish Parliament's previous mobile contract with EE came to an end in December 21, and members were told to switch the devices across to the new contract with Vodafone. Matheson was emailed by officials in February 22 and was spoken to by IT staff when he had his SIM card in his mobile phone changed later that year. So he knew all about it. So any claim he's had that he didn't know, which he has claimed that he didn't know about it, also one big pile of steaming horse shit. Everything that comes out of that lying mouth, though, isn't it? He failed to replace a SIM card in his iPad before jetting off to Morocco with his wife and 3 sons, running up a bill of nearly £11,000. And you have to wonder why he was taking that iPad to Morocco, a country that's not a safe country, that's problematic, according to the FCO. The EE bill breakdown, released on Wednesday, shows Matheson incurred the highest charges on December 28th, where 1.26 gig of data costing £2,500, and January the 2nd, where 3.89 gig costing £8,666. Holyrood officials asked EE to reduce the charges, but after the phone giant refused to do so, and with the minister's assurances that the cost was entirely work-related, which is now adamantly clear it wasn't, they agreed to charge the entire amount to the taxpayer. Some £3,000 was paid from Mr Matheson's expenses, with the rest coming directly from Parliament. Yeah, not out of his pocket. Not one penny of this came out of his pocket. In fact, because it comes out of the expenses, it only comes out of the expenses budget, but that expenses budget is provided by Parliament anyway. So the entire 11,000 was actually taxpayer funded. And he's claimed that fraudulently. He's a liar and he's a thief. However, within 2 days of the costs being made public, and despite receiving the full backing of the First Minister, the Falkirk West MSP abruptly announced that he was going to pay back the entire sum from his own pocket, because it was either that or his phone would have to be inspected, and that, we suspect, would have meant a long jail term. Also probably the end of his marriage. He said, "I've reflected long and hard," I'm sure it was long and hard at some point, "and accept that the SIM card on this device should have been replaced at an earlier stage." Yes, before you got hold of it. Earlier on Wednesday, Mr Youssef was again offering his support to the embattled Health Secretary, insisting he'd made an honest mistake. There is nothing honest about this man. He has now been proven to be a liar, has been proven to be a thief. What's honest about it? He can't be an honest mistake. It was deliberate. He deliberately put the expenses in, knowing that not everything on there was constituency work. Anyway, waffling on, Hamza Youssef said, "For me, the matter is now closed." Excellent. The matter is now closed for you, but the rest of us are still going to be talking about it. So you can do what you like, mate. He says he's agreed to pay back every single penny of that expense, even though the Parliament wasn't asking him to do so. And if you think that's the issue, then you're a moron. The issue is he's a liar and a thief who attempted to defraud the public, and therefore he must resign. End of story. There is nothing else to do. He's got to go. Scottish Conservative Chairman Craig Hoy said it is Michael Matheson's own interest to come clean as to whether or not he was watching high-profile football matches, as has been speculated. Other things have been speculated again, not involving football, but involving very young people, because it is the SNP, after all. There's an awful lot of it about in the party. And of course, that is the real reason he doesn't want his phone examined. He doesn't know what they'll find on there, and so he can't afford to have, not his phone, his iPad, but he can't afford to have anything exposed and shown, because it must be really bad. You know, when you think being a lying fraudster is good compared to what we think is on there. Put it that way. He would rather be thought of as a lying fraudster than have his iPad examined. That tells you all you need to know. Coming up. So there you go, a last minute cancellation. Yeah, flapping like a bird now, isn't he? Running around like a headless chicken. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know what to do. He honestly hasn't got a clue about what is about to happen to him. He's opened up a very, very large can of worms, and let me tell you, there ain't no putting these worms back in that can. And no matter how many times Hamza Youssef says the matter is now closed, the matter is in no way closed. this matter is big, and it's going to roll and roll and roll. And hopefully it will take out not just Matheson, but all of them. Take out Humza Yousaf, take out everyone concerned. I'd love to see the entire party crash and burn over this, because they're all backing him. Every single one is backing him. And if it turns out it is as bad as we all think, then they're all guilty. Can't wait. I will keep you abreast of this situation. No pun intended. Till then, stay safe, stay well, and keep watching. Bye.